Hi, welcome to the Career Refresh Podcast. I'm your host, Jill Griffin. I'm a former media and marketing executive turned career strategist and executive coach. I spent my career working my way up and through the ranks of global organizations and startups, and today I show others how to do the same. Join me each week as we discuss the strategies and actionable steps to leverage your strengths, increase your confidence, and develop your career well-being. Ready? Let's do it. Hey there, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Jill Griffin. I recently did a podcast on the phenomena of what I call a fixed mindset around this idea in your head, maybe you're actually speaking it, of like, yeah, but, right? I call it the yeah, buts. And it's rationalized fear. You can listen to that episode. I'll drop the link in the show notes. Super helpful. This week, I want to talk about the other buts in your life. It's those dang buts, my friends. And this is the but first. This is when you're thinking, I'm going to go for that, but first I have to ... The but firsts are another sneaky way that your brain is telling you stories that you believe. The but firsts may show up in ways that really look smart, rational. A but first is just really a thought, but it's a thought that's connected to the feelings like responsibility or preparedness. And when it is, it's protecting you from causing harm to yourself or others. Awesome, great, do it. That type, hey, we're going on a long car ride, but first I'm going to fill the tank with gas. Or, but first I'm going to use the restroom. Or there's a great opportunity at the company and I've always wanted to work there and I'm going to apply. But first, you know what? I'm going to add that last professional win to my resume or portfolio. Great. That's the kind of but first that's smart and rational and is around preparedness and responsibility. So I support you. But I want to ask you, is your but first masking hesitation or uncertainty? But first often show up when someone presents us with an opportunity or something is new for our brain. But first is when we hesitate and say, I'd love that opportunity, but first I got to get the certification. I got to get the additional training. I got to build my skills. And all of that may be true. Listen, I want you to question if you need to do that. But I also want to know where that but first is coming from. If you love your reasons, keep them. But if there's a little morsel of fear, a little morsel of stress or anxiety around that but first, then I want you to dig, my friend. I want you to go deeper. So if you read the job description and you meet, let's say, 40 to 60% of the requirements, then when you ask yourself, why aren't you applying now? If you tell yourself, but first I have to do this, or but first I need to get more experience, then I'm going to ask you to tell your but first to take a seat. What does getting that extra knowledge or education do for you? Does it really fill a gap? If you want, again, the credential, I'm not telling you not to go get it. I'm telling you, don't wait to get the credential to ask for what you want. If you're using as a means to stall and get certainty, then I have news for you. Because certainty is created in your mind. And you can choose to be certain about your skills. You can choose your own thoughts around certainty. It doesn't mean that you're going to get the job, right? Your but first is definitely not going to get you the job. But where is it holding you back? It's hesitation. Hesitation is a subset of uncertainty, which also may look like lack of self-esteem, overwhelm, or straight up fear. You can Google a list of emotions and feelings if you're curious to see the nuances between emotions and feelings and your thoughts and how they might show up. I find that digging into the work of emotional fluency is incredibly powerful for me because it really helps me articulate myself. It also helps me relate and understand to others to nail that nuance. So fear can be failure. Fear can be being afraid of being called out or shamed. And according to one of my personal favorites, Brené Brown, shame is about an unwanted identity. I don't have to see myself as what they're seeing me. It's how We are seeing ourselves through another's eyes. I don't want to see myself that way. So if we think the but first, and then we prepare for something, we think we can control the fear. We can't. That's your thought, not your feeling. Your thoughts connect to your feelings. The but first can be coming from self-esteem, which is about confidence in your worth. Often we have incredible achievements, and somewhere in your upbringing or surroundings, and I'm sorry for this, either intentionally or unintentionally, there was the thought that your achievements were less than others, and therefore you were worth less. And we have to then do more to get the same outcome as everyone else. And then we fall into a fraud complex, which is also called imposter syndrome. And you think that the hesitation, the procrastination of that but first can help you buy time and fix it or get it straight or get it in order. But nothing needs to be fixed. According to doctors Lisa Aubrey Austin and Dr. Richard Aubrey Austin, they are also authors. They wrote a book titled Own Your Greatness, Overcome Imposter Syndrome. And they write, imposter syndrome becomes harder to cope with when stereotypes about your culture, background, race, gender reinforce the notions that you are not good enough. When your presence invokes concern that you've been given special treatment to be there, it makes it really difficult to overcome imposter syndrome because your accomplishments have been actively disqualified. I mean, people, that's where it's at, right? So I can see why you would want to buy time through that but first. But first, if I do this, then I will be included or accepted. Another but first is around decision fatigue. There are so many options. Oh, but which one should we choose, right? Which one should I choose first? But what if I choose the wrong one? Let me first think about this. Will I lose the opportunity if I choose this one versus that one? And friends, you cannot lose what's not yours. So I want you to think about that for a moment. There will be a million questions, and there is not a single right answer. The more you ask yourself questions, the more you get confused. And if you don't make decisions around those questions, then there are more questions. So you start spinning in indecision. And this is decision fatigue. This is the level that will land you in a Academy Award winning level of decision fatigue because you think there's got to be a right order of things. But first, I got to figure this out. And okay, sometimes the action right in front of you is the next right action. So when you've made a decision and your but first is coming from a sense of knowing, a sense of power, a sense of clarity, that's the where you want to be. That's the responsible place. That's the sureness. That's that safety, the resourcefulness. But if your but first is coming from hesitation or delay based on fear, self-work, or some level of self-esteem and overwhelm, that's where I ask you just to pause. If you want to up-level your skills, I am all for that. Hire a mentor, get a training, hire a coach, but don't let those but first stop you from asking what you want. Ask, then get the feedback or the feed forward, as I've been heard. It's been saying now. Now it's called feed forward. Pivot if you need to. So ask yourself, is your but first stopping you? But first, I got to do this. Is it stopping you? I'd love to know. As always, you can send me an email at hello@jillgriffincoaching.com. I'd love to hear from you. All right, my friends, I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for listening to the Career Refresh Podcast. If you're enjoying this and you want more information, go to my website, jillgriffincoaching.com. There you can find information on how to work with me one-on-one, or my group programs, or even bring me into your workplace. I'll put the link to my website in the show notes. But hey, listen, before you go, do me a favor, rate and review this podcast because it definitely helps me get the word out to people everywhere so that they can also thrive in the workplace. All right, friends, I appreciate you. I'll see you soon.